Fed up with the cost of living, the healthcare bills, the noise? Well, over 760,000 Americans are already collecting their Social Security in Europe, eating better, spending less, and actually enjoying retirement. So, where should you go? Here are the top 7 countries to retire in Europe. Number 7, Italy. This is the country that has seduced travelers for centuries and is quietly becoming one of the smartest places in the world to retire. Most people think of Rome or Milan and immediately write it off as too expensive. But Italy is a big country with enormous regional variety. And once you look beyond the tourist capitals, a completely different picture emerges. Regions like Abruzzo, Puglia, and Sicily offer a pace and quality of life that is genuinely extraordinary, and a cost of living that a retired couple can navigate on around 2,000 euros to 2,500 euros a month. Fresh pasta, local wine from the vineyard down the road, a 2-bedroom apartment in a medieval town square. All of this is within reach at a price that most Americans would find astonishing. Italy has more UNESCO World Heritage Sites than any other country on Earth. And living here means that extraordinary art, architecture, and history isn't something you visit. It's just the backdrop of your daily walk to the market. The social fabric in smaller Italian towns is tight and welcoming, and the national obsession with food, family, and the pleasure of a long meal is something that tends to change people for the better. Healthcare through Italy's Servizio Sanitario Nazionale is available to legal residents and ranks among Europe's strongest, particularly in the north and center of the country. Private supplement insurance adds around 100 euros to 200 euros a month for added access and shorter waits. On the visa and tax side, Italy has pulled off something genuinely clever. The elective residency visa is designed for retirees with passive income, pensions, social security, investments, and requires around 31,000 euros a year combined, which is lower than many people expect. More interestingly, if you relocate to southern Italy specifically, there's a flat 7% tax on all foreign source income for up to 10 years. That is a meaningful financial advantage for the right person. The honest caveat with Italy is the bureaucracy. It is real, it is legendary, and it will test your patience. Go in with a good local lawyer, realistic timelines, and the understanding that this is part of the deal. For most people who make the leap, it turns out to be entirely worth it. France is number 6, and before you say anything, we're not talking about Paris. France beyond Paris is a country that is genuinely, surprisingly affordable. In Provence, the Languedoc, the Dordogne, or Brittany, a retired couple can live beautifully on 2,000 euros to 3,000 euros a month. Property prices outside major cities are often 30 to 50% lower than comparable American towns. In some rural areas, you can find characterful stone homes for under $200,000. The infrastructure is excellent. Trains connect you to the rest of Europe effortlessly, and the day-to-day quality of life, the food, the markets, the cafe culture, the sheer physical beauty of the countryside is as good as it gets anywhere in the world. France has built an entire national identity around the art of living well, and retiring here means absorbing that philosophy by osmosis. You'll spend your mornings at the market, your afternoons doing very little in particular, and your evenings eating better than you ever have. And France's healthcare system is widely regarded as among the best on the planet. After 3 months as a long-stay resident, North Americans are eligible for public healthcare, and the private supplement top-up insurance is both cheap and excellent. The long-stay visa is the route in, straightforward in principle, though French administrative processes have a reputation for moving at their own pace. One longtime expat in the south of France described the day he finally untangled his French paperwork as the best day of his entire time there. That's the trade-off. But for the lifestyle France offers in return, Most people who've done it wouldn't change a thing. Number 5, Spain. Spain has been at the top of retirement destination lists for decades, and there's a reason for that. It delivers consistently on almost every dimension that matters. With over 300 days of sunshine a year in the south, a food culture that rivals anywhere in the world, and more than 8 million foreign-born residents already settled in, Spain has the established infrastructure that newer destinations are still building. There are more than 41,000 Americans living in Spain right now, which means English-speaking doctors, expat social networks, and communities of people who've already figured out the paperwork and are happy to help you do the same. A retired couple can live comfortably on $2,000 to $2,800 a month. And in smaller inland cities, that figure drops further. Valencia and Alicante in particular have become favorites, offering genuine city life, beautiful coastlines, and a cost of living that feels almost too good compared to what you're used to. Dining out for 2 runs €35 to €80 typically. A monthly transit pass costs about €30, and Spain's public healthcare system, available to legal residents, is consistently ranked among Europe's finest. The non-lucrative visa is the standard route for retirees, requiring around €2,400 a month in passive income. Worth noting, Spain's Golden Visa Property Program closed in April 2025, so the NLV is now the main pathway. After 5 years, you can apply for permanent residency, and Spain's tax position for retirees, while not the most aggressive in the EU, is still significantly more favorable than most US states once you factor in the lower overall cost of living. The one genuine adjustment is pace. Spain operates on Spain's time. Siestas are real, shops close unexpectedly, nothing moves as fast as you're used to. But here's the thing, most retirees who arrive frustrated by that end up being the ones who love it most. Because what feels like inefficiency at first is actually something else entirely. It's a country that has decided life is more important than productivity. And in retirement, that turns out to be exactly what you wanted. Number 4, Croatia is the name that doesn't come up enough in these conversations. And that's part of what makes it so interesting right now. It's a country of 1,200 islands, a coastline that routinely stuns people who had no idea it was coming, and a culture that blends Central European warmth with Mediterranean ease. The old walled city of Dubrovnik is one of the genuinely great places in Europe. The Istrian Peninsula, with its truffle farms, medieval hilltop villages, and Italian-influenced food, is the kind of place people visit for a week and start looking at property by day 3. English is widely spoken in coastal and tourist areas, and Croatia ranks second in all of Europe for safety, just behind Switzerland. The cost of living is over 35% lower than the US average. A retired couple can live very well on €1,000 to €1,700 a month. And the residency process is one of the most accessible in the EU. The income threshold is the lowest in Europe. Processing takes around 20 days, which is extraordinarily fast by European standards. And here's the detail that should really catch your attention. Croatia does not tax foreign source income for new residents. Social security, pension, investment returns, potentially zero local income tax on all of it. That combination of low cost of living and zero tax on foreign income is genuinely rare anywhere in Europe. The honest caveat is that Croatia is still building its expat infrastructure. It doesn't yet have the established networks that Spain or Portugal have, and some administrative processes require navigating in Croatian. But the trajectory is clear. Croatia joined the EU in 2013, adopted the euro in 2023, and is attracting increasing attention from exactly the kind of people watching this video. The time to get ahead of that curve is now. Number 3, Portugal. Portugal has topped almost every retirement ranking for the better part of a decade, and even sitting at number 3 on this list, it remains one of the most compelling retirement destinations in the world. The case for Portugal is almost absurdly strong. It's the 7th safest country on the Global Peace Index. A retired couple can live comfortably outside Lisbon and Porto on $1,800 to $2,600 a month, around 33% less than the US equivalent. Prescription drugs cost up to 75% less than in the United States. The Algarve alone is home to more than 100,000 foreign pensioners who've already done exactly what you're considering, which means the support networks, English-speaking services, and community infrastructure are all firmly in place. And Portugal's National Health Service is ranked second in Europe in several health indices. Doctors speak English, hospitals are well-equipped, and the private insurance top-up runs about €40 to €120 a month. The D7 passive income visa requires proof of passive income as little as €1,000 a month for a single applicant, genuinely one of the most accessible entry points in Europe. And Portugal offers the fastest path to EU citizenship on the continent. 5 years of legal residence, and you're eligible. That's not just a place to live, that's a passport to the entire European Union. Portugal sits at number 3, rather than number 1, largely because of its own success. Lisbon property prices have risen sharply. Parts of the Algarve can feel overwhelmed in peak season, and the visa process has experienced backlogs. But move your search slightly off the tourist trail. The Silver Coast, the Alentejo, the interior north, and Portugal gives you everything it always promised, at the prices it always offered. It's still an exceptional choice. Number 2, Malta. Malta doesn't get nearly enough attention in these conversations. And if you're an English-speaking retiree, that oversight might be the best-kept secret in European retirement. Here's what makes Malta unlike anywhere else on this list. It's the only country in the European Union where English is an official language, not just spoken by hotel staff or younger people. Official at every level of government, administration, healthcare, and daily life. For American and British retirees, the adjustment is seamless in a way that is genuinely hard to overstate. You step off the plane and everything works in your language, from day one, forever. Beyond that remarkable practical advantage, Malta offers a Mediterranean lifestyle that punches well above its size. The Grand Harbor of Valletta is one of the most dramatic architectural settings in the world. The sea is extraordinary, the kind of blue that looks digitally enhanced but isn't. The climate is warm and sunny. The food is a fascinating blend of Sicilian, British, and North African influences. And the country is consistently one of the safest in Europe. The cost of living sits around 30% below the US average, with a couple spending roughly $2,500 to $3,000 a month comfortably. Less in areas away from Valletta. Healthcare is excellent at both public and private levels, and both systems are accessible, affordable, and staffed by English speakers throughout. The Malta Retirement Program offers specifically designed flat tax treatment on foreign pension income, making the financial picture very attractive for the right applicant, and worth getting proper advice on, as the details are specific to your situation. The one thing to weigh honestly is scale. Malta is 27 kilometers long. It's a beautiful, vibrant, full-featured island. But if you crave open landscapes, long drives through countryside, or the sense of a large country to explore, it will feel small. For retirees who want warmth, ease, community, English, and the Mediterranean, without needing vast space, it's hard to imagine a better fit. And number 1, it is Greece. It almost feels too obvious, and yet it somehow keeps surprising people, because Greece isn't just scenically extraordinary. And it is. There is nowhere quite like the light on the Aegean on a late summer evening. It has quietly assembled one of the most attractive retirement packages anywhere in the developed world. The cost of living is over 35% below the US average. A couple can live genuinely well on €1,000 to €1,800 a month, on the islands and in smaller towns, comfortably within that range. The food is exceptional and cheap. Fresh fish, olive oil, local vegetables, wine from a vineyard you can see from your table. Greece contains 3 of the world's recognized blue zones, regions associated with extraordinary longevity. And expats who've moved there consistently report that their health improves. One couple who relocated to the islands described measurable improvements in cardiac and lung health within their first year. There's something about the diet, the pace, the air, and the movement involved in island life that seems to work. The culture is warm in a way that stands apart even in the Mediterranean. Greeks are genuinely hospitable, service-focused in a way that people notice coming from Spain or Italy. The history is the history of Western civilization itself, which means you are never more than a short drive from something that genuinely takes your breath away. English is widely spoken on the main islands and in tourist areas, and the expat community is growing fast. Healthcare in private facilities is excellent and affordable, and the public system has improved significantly. For most expats, a private insurance policy is the way to go, and the cost is very reasonable. And then there's the tax situation, which is what really sets Greece apart right now. For retirees over 55 who transfer their tax residency to Greece, the country offers a flat 7% rate on all foreign source income, pension, social security, dividends, investments, everything, for up to 15 years. 15 years of 7% flat tax. For many American retirees, that is dramatically lower than what they would pay in the US or anywhere else in Europe. Greece also has no wealth tax and modest inheritance tax rates. The residency permit process has become more efficient, and the standard financially independent person visa remains accessible. The honest drawback is that administrative processes on smaller islands can be slow, and infrastructure in the most remote areas is more limited. Athens and the larger islands have everything you need. The very small islands are best for people who genuinely want to be left alone. But taken together, the beauty, the culture, the food, the warmth of the people, the cost of living, and that remarkable 7% flat tax for 15 years, Greece is the most complete retirement proposition in Europe right now, and the world apparently has noticed. If this helped, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment with the country that's calling your name. See you in the next one.